Welcome to Stuff They Didn't Teach Me in Sunday School. There are some people in the Bible that simply defy classification, that just don't fit all the molds that we have for all the job descriptions that we have for people in the Bible. One of those characters is Samuel. Certainly a bigger-than-life character in the book of Samuel, but how do you classify him? Sometimes he's called a judge, sometimes he does priestly things, sometimes he almost acts like the king of the nation. How do you classify Samuel? We get a hint that something special is happening in his early life. Early in the book of Samuel, you remember the story of Hannah, his mother, coming to the temple, which, by the way, must have been the vestiges of the tabernacle. It's at Shiloh at this point, and praying for a son. She's barren, has no children, and is praying for a child. And it's interesting how many times in the Bible remarkable children are born to parents who are formerly barren. Hannah's prayer is answered. Her deal with God is that if God would give her a son, she would turn him back over to God, and she does. She turns him over to Eli the priest to be raised in the temple. The story you probably know best out of this section, if you're familiar with this at all, is the story of Samuel in bed at night, hearing the voice. And you picture the lad laying on a cot and the sound of a voice coming, "Samuel, Samuel." And of course, Samuel jumps up and goes to see Eli, the priest, to find out what it is Eli wants. And Eli says, "I didn't call you. Go back to bed." Goes back to bed. "Samuel, Samuel." Runs into Eli again. "What do you want?" "I didn't call you. It must be Yahweh. Next time he calls, you say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant hears.'" Samuel goes back to bed. The voice comes again. And Samuel does that. He says, "Speak, Lord, for your servant hears." There's a little bit of a rest of the story here, because that's usually where the Sunday school lesson ends. We don't talk about what it is that God tells Samuel. And what it is that he tells him is pretty radical, pretty dramatic stuff. He tells him Eli's sons are going to be killed in battle, and the Ark of the Covenant is going to be taken captive by the Philistines. That's the message that Samuel has to deliver to Eli the next day. It does all come to pass. That Ark of the Covenant does get captured, but that's a story for another day and another time. Samuel is God's man in this situation, filling the gap between judges and kings that would come, but speaking on behalf of God to his people, bringing the message of God's word to a people that sorely need to hear it.